when it comes to rubber meets the road faith, there's very few people willing to walk this heavy. And God is calling a remnant. God is calling a new generation to walk a different way. And guess what? I'm going to be one of them. And yeah, it looks crazy to me. I have no idea what's about to happen. This year has been a series of just moves and moves and moves of just trust. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was telling her about like how I admire her faith, because she can receive a dream from God and she stands in that dream. She says, I know what God just told me. And obviously I can confirm, because we're walking this walk together, that is okay. Well, that is God. I can definitely sense that that's God in it, and we move accordingly. But she can just sit. She's just like, God told me, I'm there, and it doesn't matter what it looks like. She's right there. Whereas me, your girl has been the type of person I need evidence. I need the evidence. Okay, I might have 87 dreams, but I'm still asking for God for confirmation, because in my mind, I'm like, I have never done this. And yes, I know people that like they hold on to words from God and they do things according to things, but I've only met very few people that are walking this heavy for God, meaning that they've learned how to hear the voice of God. And then when God calls you to do something, because we all know what God is calling us to do, let's be real. We all know what God is calling us to do. We all know God doesn't call us to, dramatic moves of faith. He calls us to little steps of faith. And he sees if you're faithful with those things, and then he progressively goes harder. It gets more. It costs more. But what I've learned in this journey, family, is that God is so faithful that even in this journey, even where I'm at right now, I see God being so faithful. Even right now, where I'm like, I'm not sure, I don't know, there's so many different things that I have questions about. And I just heard God say, just keep, put one foot in front of the other, just keep going. Let me handle the rest. You do what you can do. Let me handle the rest. And that's been very hard for me, because sometimes, family, it caused me to just sit there. And I'm not a just sit there type of girl. I'm like, God, how, what? And I'm telling you, the last couple of weeks has been tears. It's been trying to wrap my mind around some of the things that God is calling me to. I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't scared. If the what ifs aren't what ifing. I've never done anything like this before. And y'all, I have dreams and they're so vivid, and I know God is speaking to me. But it's still very, very scary for me. But there's such a conviction in my spirit that I'm going to keep on. I'm going to keep on until God tells me to stop. And sometimes those steps are taken with tears in my eyes, with bags underneath my eyes, tears in my eyes. Just a cry from my heart. Like, I'm scared. Sad, because I'm doing it by myself. I wish there was somebody with me, that could talk me through the steps of the moves I'm making, but God is calling me to do this on my own. And I know why. There's bigger things for me to do on this planet. There's a bigger purpose that he has me to serve. And he's training me up now to know that, yeah, you can jump off the deep end and I got you. I'm allowing you to see the opposition. I'm also showing you that weapons may form, but they don't prosper. That it is an illusion, but it's training you up for where I'm taking you. That David had to fight the lion and the bear before he ever reached Goliath. And even after Goliath, then it was armies of people that David had to face. And face boldly and win. He became a fierce warrior. But it all started with the lion and the bear, then Goliath. Now he's in charge of armies. Then he's in charge of his own army. Like, it's we don't realize that sometimes the seasons that we're walking in, God allows us not to hurt us, not to harm us, not to punish us, but to train us. And I think I shared that with you guys last week. God has showed me a number that woke me up at a time that meant training. I was like, this is not training. I'm like, God, no, I don't like this number. I do not like this number. This does not feel like training. This feels very real. This is very anxiety provoking. Y'all, I'm eating more carbs than I've been eating. I've been doing so good on my diet. Oh my goodness. I've been doing so good. And then this past weekend, y'all, yeah, I done had the chips. I done had the pretzels. And I done had the popcorn. Okay. I was doing so good. Of course I had it within reason. I didn't go absolutely crazy. So I don't feel like I completely jumped off the wagon, but still, it's been tough. It has been hard, and I'm like, God, like, okay, like I really am jumping off the deep end, jumping off the diving board in the deep end. Like I really am. I've never lived on the edge like this, y'all. Never. I've always kind of played in water I could tread water in. Now I'm going into oceans and seas, and I'm like, God. But what I've learned in this time, and it's very valuable to me, is understanding just how faithful God is, and that he'll bring you out to deeper and deeper water the more he can trust you. Now, again, family, I am not a perfect woman. I have made a lot of mistakes in this. I try my very best to be obedient, not because my salvation is dependent upon it, but because I really want to, like, at this point in my life, that connection with God it means so much to me that I can't miss his voice. Like I don't want anything I'm doing or engaging in to create a disconnection with him. Like I want him to know that I'm going to be so obedient. And some people may look at that like, why are you, it's not about that, performance-based salvation. I'm not doing this to go to heaven. I'm doing this because I want a close relationship with God. I want us to be locked in. I want him to know that I'm going to be obedient. And a lot of times, family, even all throughout the Bible, it requires you to forsake what your family thinks makes sense, or your friends may think makes sense, or anybody. It really doesn't matter what they think. If God is calling you to it, there is number one you must know is that the opposition must fall, right? I don't care what opposition comes at you. I don't care what the enemy tries to put in your path. The enemy, the whatever that opposition is, it has to stop. Because God, what I've learned about God is that God, y'all, I'm saying this I'm saying this from experience. The weapon will form. It's going to form, but it will not prosper. And a lot of us, when the weapon forms, we immediately give up because we do not see a way out. The Israelites, when they went to the land, they went to the promised land, they saw these big giants, and they're like, well, we don't have the ability, we don't have the capacity. There's no way that we can overwhelm these huge people that are in this land. But God had already given them a word that you will defeat them because this is my promise to you. And God is never going to give any of us a dream without needing him to accomplish it. Like you are thinking within your own strength, but when you add God's strength to your strength, there's nothing you can't do. And what I've learned about God's word is his word can't fail. Like it can't, it just can't, it's impossible. That thing has to change. If God said it, that thing has to change. It has to. There's no other option. Like, I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what obstacle you're facing. If God said this is going to happen, it is going to happen. That thing has to change. When he said, let there be light, light came. When he said animals be present, animals were present. When he said, when he took the rib from Adam and created Eve, he allowed life to come through her. That was, it had to happen. That has to change. And sometimes we think these man-made obstacles will overwhelm God. And he's like, what? No, it has to change. The reason why I'm allowing this to affect you, the reason why I'm allowing these circumstances to overwhelm you is because I'm trying to show you something about you. I'm trying to teach you something about me while I'm teaching you something and showing you something and exposing you something about you. That some of us, we get so caught up in our own understanding of what the circumstances is supposed to represent in our lives. And a lot of us allow it to be the end, but it doesn't have to be. All God is requiring you to do is to stand, just to go through the process, just to control what you can control and understand that whatever is facing you, whatever is coming against whatever God has called for you in your life, that thing must, if God said this is for you, that thing has to happen. That his word doesn't change, the circumstances do.